Hello everyone, this is the Pusher Prince with another World of Tanks video. This time it's going to be about spotting and camo. It's a basics lesson with Wasp. So back to TeamSpeak we go. Alright, I'm here.
Yeah, sorry. Had to prepare the bush lines.
Prepare the bush lines.
Yes. We might have some use for them later. Maybe. Just maybe. So yeah, the camo lessons usually split into two parts. The first one is if you are the guy spotting, and the second one, how to avoid getting spotted yourself. Um, First part, really viable for scout tanks, but I guess it's also important to every other class because it kind of includes understanding why you are getting shot by things you don't see. Which can happen quite a lot, depending what you're playing and how blind you are. But yeah. So to begin with, there are a few terms you need to get comfortable with, I guess. First one is maximum spotting range. Yeah, that is 445 meters. And that's due to game engine limitations. Yeah, it has always been like that, and they can't enhance it because it's still running on big wood. Yeah, so 445 meters, that's it. Yeah, if somebody is 446 meters away, you're never ever gonna spot him yourself. Yeah, it might be that somebody else is gonna spot him for you, but yourself, you're not gonna spot anything above 445. Yeah, that's the maximum spotting range.
Alright.
Then you have effective spotting range, and that is your view range minus the enemy's camo. Sounds a bit weird at the beginning, but it actually makes sense if you have an example to it. Yeah, so let's say with my Bulldog I have these 445 meters view range, and the Nemesis comes driving into this range. And he's probably gonna bop like, I don't know, 420 meters away from me. And that's because I have really good view range and he has terrible camo. On the other hand, if I'm still sitting in the same spot and there's a light tank coming towards me, I'm probably just gonna spot him 250 meters away from me. Yeah, I still have the same view range, gets a lot better camo than the huge ass mouse. So it depends at which or how far away you're gonna spawn on. Also, like, if you pimp out your commander, put optics, binocs, like everything on your tank, you can go above this 445 meters. Yeah, so basically on paper you will have, let's say, 480 view range. What that does is not like enabling you to spot someone over this 445, but you spot people sooner. So basically, same scenario, I'm sitting in my bush, but this time I have takes, I have situational awareness, I have a good commander and everything. So basically, if the mouse drives now into the 445 meters, we'll spot him right when he crosses the border into 445. Yeah, and same goes for the light tank. Coming towards me, I'm gonna spot him at 350 now, or maybe at 300 instead of 250 meters. Yeah, so if you kit out your tank with view range enhancing and make it really, really good at that, it just enables you to spot people earlier than you normally would,
One question.
which is a good thing. Yeah.
Like as I remember, there was something at 500 meters, like some kind of view range or something. I don't know, like the past the
That might be
max
render range.
spotting. What range?
Render range.
Oh.
Like they changed that lately. Before it was rare around your tank. You could play around with it a little, but now it's, I think it's 526 meters circle around your tank, and that's basically where tanks get rendered.
Okay.
So if you have someone that help you to spot, you can see them.
Exactly.
That distance, 500 and 67 meters or what
Yeah,
it is.
500 something. Yeah, so 527 render range. It kind of helps sometimes. Their tanks spotted and they're just out of your render and they just pop in and out. So you see them appear and disappear. It's quite funny sometimes,
Yeah.
but those tanks are still there, yeah, so you can shoot them. That's the important part. Same goes for blind shooting stuff. Yeah, the tanks are still there even if they disappear. I see that a lot in randoms, like there's a scout tank popping up in a bush. He's shooting once, and then he disappears. But he's still sitting in that bush, so if you shoot there, he's gonna take damage. Yeah, so it might be worth sometimes when tanks just disappear a second before you want to shoot, to still shoot, because they might be still there, and they will take the damage for sure. Yeah, same goes for blind shooting, common spotting positions. The thing I do like nearly always on Malinovka. When you spawn here, in the south, you can always go blind shoot this ridge at D5, D6, and if you're spawning like on your side, you can shoot the F7 area bushes. There's nearly always somebody in there. Blind shooting is worth it in most of the cases, especially if you have huge amounts of ammo.
Yeah.
Which you have on most tanks. Like there are just a few tanks that have ammo issues, mostly premiums. But with every normal tank, a blind shot every once in a while to common positions won't hurt. Definitely. But yeah, regarding the spotting, one more value you might want to keep in mind is the 50 meter roll. Yeah, 50. That's basically when tanks get insta spotted. Yeah, no matter how well they are hiding or whatever behind they are hiding, you're getting as close as 50 meters, you're gonna spot. Yeah, best example are E25s. If you kit them out with anything Camo related, put them in a bush, people need to come as close as 60 meters to actually spot you. At 50 they would anyway, but you have so good Camo that they have to come 60 meters close before they see you. So you can get really, really close to that 50, but when somebody hits the 50 meter mark, you're gonna get spotted either way. It's kind of important when you're in a light tank. So if you're sitting in your bush and somebody's creeping closer, they might not spot you normally, but as soon as they go under 50 meters, you're gonna get spotted, so you kind of have to decide when to run away before they get too close and spot you, actually.
One question about that. Like, does that include obstacles? 'Cause there was something,
Yes.
wasn't it? Oh, okay. But
So
there
basically,
was something around like 15 meters, as I remember. Or like,
yeah, that comes later. That's for bushes.
oh,
But 50 meters, it's like, it matters whether there's huge hill in between, whether there's a house, a rock, or a river in between. Like as soon as you get into this 50 meters, you're gonna get spotted.
okay.
And on the other hand, you also see people back. Yeah, so I don't know, it's not so popular anymore, but it was on Himmelsdorf. Like if you were in a scout and really, really desperate, yeah, this city map, you could go into this yard, and then in the corner where the banana is, yeah, where the heavies usually 8-line, where they usually
Yep.
fight it out. You basically just go into that corner, and you see all the people that are hurling behind that corner. And there are 3 houses in between, so you are not gonna get shot from them, that's for sure. But you spot them because it's like this 50-meter range. And so you can also use that to your advantage. But it's a two-sided sword, yeah. 'Cause if you see them, they also see you. Which is important if there's arty around, or people flanking, or, you know, whatever. That's it for the things to remember at first, I would say. Yeah, so if you want to spot somebody now, you first need to have enough view range, yeah, to counter their camo, kind of. And they have to be in this 445 meters square, yeah, around you before not square, circle around you before you can spot them. The next thing you need to have to make them appear on the map is line of sight on them. Every tank has 6 checkpoints. Yeah, one of them is at your cupola, one is right where your gun starts, one at the front, one in the back, and one at each side of your tank. Yeah, and if you can see one of checkpoints on another tank, that's enough to have line of sight on them, or to be considered to have line of sight on them.
So if my gun stick outside the bush, they will have a line of sight on me.
No, they won't. It's like not at the tip of the gun. It's like really just where it
Okay.
starts, like close to your turret.
Okay.
It is the thing. Like if you're driving a third with this crazy long gun, you don't have to stay away 10 meters from the bush. Yeah, it's
All
if
right.
that pops up, it's okay. You just need to make sure that where the gun starts, that is hidden. So on the other hand, that also means you just need to poke over with one of your checkpoints to actually spot somebody. Yeah, important for scouts here. If you're scouting over a dune or a hill or anything, you don't need to go all the way up and play king of the hill to actually spot someone. Yeah, it's enough if just your cupola peeks over and it will already spot people. Yeah, one of your checkpoints need to see one of theirs. That's all that's needed. So if you're scouting, usually the usual practice would be to get close to the hill, like peek over your cupola and be on your way down already when they pop up. And because there's this usual spotting delay of 1 or 2 seconds, depending on how far people are away. And you can use that to your advantage like that. Yeah, you just go over, show your cupola, and when you're on your way down, that's when they see you, and that's when you will see them. But you are already on your way down, or if they have pre-aimed, they have only your cupola to shoot, which is really hard to hit. So you minimize your damage input that way.
Could my tracks see another vehicle then?
Yeah, basically that correlates with your checkpoint on the side of the tank. Yeah, so basically it won't be the tracks, it will be the checkpoint on the side of your tank.
Okie doke.
But is it like in the middle of the tracks, or is it like behind or in front or something?
You know, we have these like Google documents about the lessons. And there is a picture where the spots are. Give me a second, I will.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It's not the same document. It's
Yes,
like
it is.
Is it? Okay. Well, I'm on
Then
it
there
now.
example with the
Camouflage and stuff.
IS-3, I think. We go.
If you mean those, if it's those links, like there's no access.
Ah, okay. Yeah, well, then they are not there. But yeah, usually it's in the middle of the tanks. Yeah. As a rule of thumb, you can go with that. Although it's not that important to you, because thing you need to know about is like viewports. Yeah, so cupola and your gun, like when you want to spot for yourself. That's the important part.
Which, by the way, like, for me, it would seem that it might be difficult to like get the timing right, like going up and then going down, because it's. I mean, it would be really hard for me to tell when I'm actually seeing them with my cupola before I actually see them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Judge
it
that.
needs a bit of practice, I guess, just getting a feeling for it. But usually what I can say for sure is if you go for the first time and you don't go far enough, yeah, you still can go down and try again. But if you go
Yeah.
up too far and get
Yeah.
shot to pieces, you're not gonna have a second try. Yeah,
And
so
you
Yeah.
could count in your head 1, 2, 3, and then go down. Because if you stay up for 2 seconds, you will spot the ones at long distance, and if someone is there, they will for sure spot you. So
Or
if you go up and count 1, 2, 3, and then down.
or maybe you could just like move up 1 meter and then stop and like keep going. Like if you get spotted, okay, go back.
Well, that's more
Reverse.
thing you would do in heavy tanks, like going
Yeah.
tank length by tank length. But for light tanks, it's really just, you know, you peek over or you think you peek over. If nothing happens, then there are two options: you didn't go far enough, or there's really nothing. I always would assume you didn't go far enough, yeah, because if you assume there's nothing and you really peek like big time, there are 6 tanks, then yeah,
Yeah.
you're not going to do that again. There's a thing you need to get used to, but I always tell that to my scouts as well, and like team-based stuff. If you don't see anything the first time, it's fine. You can try a second one. I don't mind. Better than the other way around. But yeah, so if all these things come together, like you have enough view range, that guy is sitting in the middle of the open, so you have a good line of sight on him, and you spot him. Yeah, basically he's gonna appear on the map, and people can shoot it. So far, so good. As long as he doesn't move and you doesn't move, gonna stay lit up forever. Yeah, basically till he's dead or you are dead. But in most cases, what you will do is like gouging runs, like we just described one, and then they're gonna pop up, and you're gonna go down the hill, and at some point they're gonna disappear again. Yes, because you moved out of line of sight, or you moved out of spotting range, like whatever factor plays in there. Yeah, and these intervals are randomized. Yeah, so after you got spotted, you are always lit up for 5 seconds. Yeah, that's always the case. That's the absolute minimum. And then this is randomly extended up to 10 seconds. 10 seconds is the maximum time you'll be spotted when they go out of range.
So
If they stay in range, you're gonna stay split forever. But if they go out of range or you go out of range, it's 10 seconds maximum, and then you will disappear for sure.
So
So
it's
that's
random?
usually, yes. Sometimes it's
Okay.
5, sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's 8, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 6 again. You know,
Okay.
it varies every time. 5 is the minimum, 10 is the maximum. That means for you, if you shoot somewhere and you're getting spotted, get into cover, count to 10, and then you can go out safely again.
Is it the same for like both? Like if he spots you for 10 seconds, you spot him for 10 seconds, or is it
No.
individual?
It can be that he disappears earlier.
Okay. So much RNG.
Oh well, that's the small part of the RNG of this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also some randomized stuff in there. But to be safe, like do the 10 seconds. Yeah, if you're getting spotted, 10 seconds safety, then you're good to go. There's like no guarantee, yeah, because if these 10 seconds are over, you pick out at the same spot, and people might have pre-aimed. Yeah, so when you pop up again, because the guy stayed in the same spot, you come out, you get spotted, there might be shots getting you instantly, or nearly instantly, yeah, because people have pre-aimed, they were just waiting for you to peek. Yeah, but in most cases, disappear, people will just look somewhere else. Maybe they're just gonna start moving to another position, because you might not show up again, and then you can peek out again. But what's for sure, after 10 seconds, not gonna see you on the map anymore. So yeah, that's it about the when you want to spot for yourself. Yeah, second part was about Camo and how you can use it for yourself, kind of. And I think the most important idea here is the base camo. Yeah, so every tank has a certain value for base camo. You can find them somewhere, but as a rule of thumb, like huge tanks, like really high tanks with a really big profile have terrible camo values, and tanks with a really small profile have really good camo values.
So,
Yeah. So my favorite example, the mouse, most terrible of camos, and the ELC right next to me has amazing camo because he is really really small. Base camo value. And from this base camo value on, certain things are calculated. Yeah, if you're standing still and you're not shooting, the base camo is at 100%. Yeah, so you get your full value. As soon as you start moving, even if it's just 2 kph, 1 kph, even if it's just wiggling left and right, the base camo is gonna drop to 50%. Yeah, and then it doesn't matter whether you're going 40 kph or 1. It's gonna go down.
regardless of class.
Well, lightings are the exception, and that's why they are preferred as scouts. Yeah, they don't lose camo on the move. So lightings are the exception, they're gonna stay at 100%. Yeah, so if all of us start moving, we don't lose any base camo.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, that's why lightings are so good for scouting. And sometimes in Clemos you have the choice, or well, your usual spotter is a bad chat. Yeah, it's a medium tank, it has amazing view range, good camo values, everything fine. But on some maps, we used to take AMX 3090s. Yeah, so you have this good camo value, and you can have it on the move as well. It was sometimes important to get into certain bushes. And so we sacrificed all the firepower the Batchet has, really just to get this one bush and get a good overview. Or on Province, where, well, Province is yet ridiculous. Either way. That's why sometimes light tanks are preferred over mediums, because they don't lose camo while moving. You can have a medium and this tank doing the same job, because most high tier mediums at least have really good view ranges. The only difference is that the light tanks don't lose camo while they're getting to the bush or while they're getting away from the bush, which can be quite important sometimes. Either way. Then, if you're shooting, that's like the worst thing you can do to your base camo. Yeah, as soon as you fire, it will go down to nearly 0%. I think it's gonna be 10 or 13, and then it's gonna start rising up again. Then it depends. If you're not a light tank and still moving, it will rise up to the 50%. Or if you stopped in the meantime, or you are a light tank, then it will go up to 100%. Yeah? But no matter the tank class, no matter whether you're a light tank, yeah, the second you're firing, it's gonna go down really, really, really a lot. That's important to remember. And because you can sit in the bush quite safely, but as soon as you shoot, you lose crazy amounts of camo. Important thing to remember. So that's the thing about base camo. Yeah, that's every tank has, and it changes
But
depending on your actions.
how fast does it go back up? Like the camo value after you shoot? Like, is it really fast? Is it really slow?
I wonder if it's about the same as if you're spotted. 10 seconds.
No, I think it's definitely faster. There might be like 1 or 2 seconds. Yeah, I don't really think there are values for that, but it's surprisingly fast actually. The thing is just, even if you just lose it for 1 second, the damage is done already.
Yeah.
Yeah, like lose your camo value, and the scout that was lurking in that bush for 10 minutes, he sees you, and you're gonna be spotted for 10 seconds. So, and then it
makes
doesn't matter what changes in
it's
between, yeah?
so hard to scout just because of that. Just keep the finger off the trigger.
Yes, it's really important. But yeah, that's the thing about base camo. Yeah, so if you want to stay unspotted yourself, like because you know they have snipers or you're afraid of RT, which is really viable, first thing you can do is like stay out of line of sight. Yeah, solid cover is usually blocking those. So you need to hide all your checkpoints behind solid cover. And whether it is a house, whether it is a rock, whether it is a hill, or like some depression you are hiding in, Get those checkpoints covered so nobody can see them, and you will be fine. Yeah, the thing is with houses like these on Malinovka, some of them have these beautiful broken windows. So if I'm standing like this, I'm completely fine. But if I go like 1 or 2 meters in front and my cupola is peeking through one of these windows, I'm still gonna get spotted. Yeah, so it's really important to hide all of those checkpoints. Because if you make like one small mismove, you're still gonna get spotted. The good thing is if you're hiding behind solid cover, it might not be so terrible if you get spotted because you have cover, yeah. It's worse when you're getting spotted in the open field or behind a bush because there's, in most cases, no cover nearby. Yeah, so solid cover has like the effect that you cannot get shot and you will get spotted harder. Yeah, so kind of a double thing. The other option is to hide behind half-transparent cover, like bushes and trees. What they do is basically you have your base camo, and they add up a certain modifier on top of it. Some camo bonus because of the bush or the tree, depending on what you're hiding behind. But they only provide this camo bonus kind of if you cover all your checkpoints. Yeah, at least from the direction you're getting or you're spotting from. Because if I'm like in the bush like this, I'm really nicely covered frontally. Yeah, so if they have a scout coming over the field, I'm perfectly covered. The thing is, if they have a scout peeking around at my back, like from somewhere there, I'm not covered at all by the bush. Yeah, so it all depends on the angle people are looking from. Also, like, you need to kind of choose where you want to hide from. Yeah, if it's early game, on Malinovka, then probably you want to stand in a bush like this, so you're not getting spotted from the front. But if it's late game and they just rushed your base from the other side, probably want to stand like this, so you're covered from the back. Yeah, bushes are in most cases not big enough to fit in your whole tank. Like in low tiers it's still the case, but the higher the tiers get, you will hardly find a bush that covers an E100, for example. Yeah, so you have to decide for one direction to stay safe from.
Or you can go here with a light tank with binoculars and spot everything.
Depends.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a thing with bushes. Yeah, they're directional, especially in higher tiers. Yeah, standing correctly in a bush. Either way, if you want to stand correctly in a bush, you need to hide your weak spots. We talked about checkpoints. We talked about that. There's an easy way to check that. Basically, you pick a nice bush. There are plenty of them around, and then you hold the right mouse button, turn around your tank, and look at it from the front. Yeah, and if you do that, you will see this white silhouette. That kind of, if that white silhouette is there, it shows you that your tank is covered in these areas. If you go a bit forward now, you will see that parts start to stick out and not everything is covered there. And that's kind of how to not stand in a bush. Yeah, what you want to have is your whole checkpoints covered by the white silhouette. Yeah. If you have a really long gun, it doesn't really matter if it pokes out, like the Panther for example, because you learned the checkpoint is where your turret starts. But if you go forward too much, usually the tracks start peeking first, but either way, if you peek too much with the turret, you're doing it wrong. Or you won't have too much bonus from the bush anymore. So that's the important part. You can check this and say, okay, I'm staying in the bush, alright, and that's about it. Yeah, if you're not used to parking in bushes for a really long time, you can do that like every time you enter one. Yeah, so if you're in a match, you're like, okay, sitting here, doing a quick check, and then, going back to normal again. Perfectly fine, nothing wrong with that.
But what if you like, wouldn't it kind of be better to sit like sideways like this to spot?
The
Like
spot?
this?
No,
Yeah.
there's no difference.
No, I mean not to spot, but like to not get spotted, because then if people come around, then it's harder to see all your checkpoints. Maybe if they start flanking around the bushes, I don't know. Like they may not see all your checkpoints if you're.
Might be in a
360.
really, really few cases. But I wouldn't do it. Like the thing you do though in scouts usually is to sit backwards in the bushes. It might feel a bit weird to point your weakest armor to the enemy team, but what it does basically gives you the opportunity to run away really, really fast. Yeah, because if you're sitting normally in the bush in a light tank and you're getting spotted, you have to turn around and away, and that takes quite a while. On the other hand, if you sit backwards already, you can instantly run. It gives you quite a time advantage. It's just a thing you do in light tanks though, yeah, because they have no armor anyway. Yeah, if they're
Yeah.
getting hit in the front or the back, it doesn't really matter. They'll go through in most of the cases. The heavy tank, the situation is different. Yeah, I don't want to see any E100s parking backwards in bushes just because they get faster away. Okay, so yeah, keep that strong armor in front for most of the tanks, but light tanks, they're kind of the exception.
Mediums.
Mediums also sitting normally. It's really just light tanks. Well, exceptions the batchet maybe, if you're spotting a Camos and or something, but most of the time it's normal. Yeah, it's exceptions that do it the other way around. So yeah, I've been talking a lot, so you have to come over to my side again.
All right. Have you got the T49? Was
Yes, I do. I don't like it though.
it's not a real light tank. It's
Yeah,
more like
that's
a
true.
RP.
Hmm.
It's unnecessary but very fun.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who really like it a lot. But yeah, everybody pick your favorite bush again. And just park yourself in there, and then we're gonna go for the second important rule of today. And that's the 15-meter rule. 1-5. Yeah, basically every time you fire your gun, all half-transparent cover in a 15-meter circle around you will lose its camo bonus. That's is providing towards you. Yeah, whether it be a bush or tree, doesn't matter. They just drop it. Yeah, so on top of you losing your base camo, you also lose the bonus provided by the bush, which kinda sucks.
Yeah.
So to avoid that, you want to drive away those 15 meters. And to determine whether you're far enough, just go into sniper mode, like first zoom stage, if you want to call it like that, then drive backwards. At some point, the bushes will turn solid. Oh, yeah, kind of solid. If you're in these 50-meter range, they turn mostly transparent. If you go back, there will be this moment when they pop back to being solid.
So
And that's when you're 15 meters away.
they have to be 100% solid. like-
What about this stage when it's half half solid?
Yeah.
Then you are not far enough away.
Okay, so it's not enough.
No, it has to be really solid.
So it's all or nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, and then it's safe to fire. Yeah, or kind of safe to fire. It's not a 100% guarantee, yeah, because your base camo will still drop to nearly zero. But what will stay is the camo bonus provided by the bush. Yeah, and that's not to be underestimated.
Uh, I had a really good game when I hid with this 15-meter rule, and I decapped, and everyone in enemy team was in the cap circle, and they just didn't want to leave the cap circle. So I shot, went count to 10, went forward and detected them, turned back and shot, and just kept shooting them, and they didn't do anything. They just stood there.
They kept capping.
Yeah, I did 4,000 damage with a light.
Oh, really nice.
Yeah, Type 64, the Tier 6 light.
Oh, yeah, it's quite a powerful thing, and I don't know, the way to abuse the camera system a little, I would say. So yeah, what you usually
Maybe.
do then, like tier 10 mediums do this a lot, like you go forward, you spot, then you go 50 meters back, you take your shot, and then when they disappear, you go forward again, and then you go backwards, and just keep doing this, and they will have a really, really hard time spotting you. It works with all kind of tanks, yeah, also heavies can use it. I mean, no point in giving away a good camo bonus. But yeah, remember, if you're firing, you will still lose camo. Yeah, you will just keep the bush bonus because you're far enough away. Important.
Yeah, so it's a good thing to be far away from the one you shoot at.
Yep. One thing to remember though, if you go too far away, the angles change again. Yeah, and if you're going too far away, people that might not be able to spot you before suddenly have a clear line of sight on you. Especially if there's just one bush in the middle of the open, kinda.
But
Yeah, if there's a bush line like this, it's not too troublesome. But if going too far away, it might be easier to get spotted
you,
again.
if you mess up and you shoot while being in a bush, you can switch the bush, right? Like go to the next one or something. It's possible.
Yes, but it's the same, like, when you're shooting, the damage is done already. Yeah, if there was, at that point of time, somebody able to spot you, you're going to be spotted, yeah, nothing be done about it anymore. So yeah, usually, trees and bushes have the same camo values. They are, like, adding on top. But the thing is, trees only provide them where they have leaves. Yeah, so there's certain kind of trees that just have a really high crown, but there are just a few on top. And if you're standing right in front of it, they will just provide cover from above. Yeah, so those trees you need to definitely fell to make sure they are lying and you have good camo from them.
Can
Yeah,
you can you stack trees with bushes? Like, can you be in a tree and bush at the same time and get camo from both?
But you could knock over things and get some kind of camo value from the leaves.
yes, knocking over trees is the usual thing to do. The only thing there is just, if you knock over a tree and people are watching closely, they know you're there.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can't stack bushes
you're not
with
getting spotted.
trees.
Well, if the tree is in front of the bush and you knock the tree over, you
Then,
get more value.
yeah, then you get more value. Yes, I do see you. The thing is just same with double bushes. Yeah, two bushes in front of you are kind of helpful because sometimes it's exactly like you have one bush in front and then the one you're hiding behind. And if you're shooting, the one in front will not lose its bonus because
Yeah.
it's 50 meters away and you can just stick in the one you're already in, for example. Yeah, but usually trees, I prefer bushes over trees. Yeah, because trees, if they're standing, sometimes have these weird holes in their crowns and you will still get spotted. Or if you like move them over, if you fell them down, people will know you're there. Yeah, sometimes they blind shoot, in most cases they don't, but it's still like a risk you're taking there.
But bushes are better than trees in terms of camo value.
It's they are more solid.
They're the same in value, but they are like, how to put this? I feel more safe relying on a bush than a tree. Because even if the trees are lying on the ground, like this one shows it really nicely, like there's still parts of it in the air. And you see that? And that's like where people could spot you through, because there are
Oh,
some
yeah.
holes in it. Yeah, so it's really unreliable. Yeah, so I like bushes better. There are people who like trees better because you can move them left or right depending where you want to have them. But I'm on the bush type.
Let's see.
But yeah, that's the two things you can do. Like take solid cover or use bushes and trees to your advantage. If you want to stack up camo further, you can get these nice paint jobs. They give that bonus of 5%, depending if you have it for the right map type. Yeah, there's winter, summer, and desert camos. And well, you kind of need the one that's fitting the current map you're playing on. And if I would have a winter camo on the Bulldog, it wouldn't help me on my Novka, and if I have the summer camo, it won't help me on Arctic region. Another thing you can use is camo nets. In the past they gave you a flat bonus as well. Now it is depending on the tank class you're driving. TDs get 15%, light tanks get 10%, and RT gets 5%. I
That's
think.
that's the crew skill.
No, camo net is
Oh.
the equipment.
Oh, okay. No, I mean
Oh,
the camo
so
crew
it's
skill.
not 50% anymore.
No, they changed it at some point. I was quite surprised as well. It's depending
Oh.
on tank class now. Don't call me out on the numbers. You have to check them yourself.
No,
But
I remember what you say now, but I forgot about that 50%. Yeah, it's true. Very
Oh,
good.
but how much is the? How much does the camo crew skill give?
I know
Then
you can check the values somewhere. But
okay.
Camo's crew skill is pretty viable in light tanks. Like
I
usually,
think it depends on what you have in basic camo value on your
I
tank.
think
If
it's
you,
some percentage of the base
yeah,
camo.
yeah. So on a mouse, it would be very bad to put camo skill on the crew because you would get practically nothing. But
Yeah.
Yeah, and tanks with terrible base camo, you don't want to go for the skill, but you want to go for the paint and the camo net because they give flat bonuses. No matter what.
But you like never take the camo net though.
On a
You-
mouse, no.
No, I mean on like anything for team battles.
But team battles, no.
team battles, no.
You always take stuff like rammer, vents, optics. And I guess you don't have room for that.
Oh no. It's like on TDs, yeah, it's viable, but on everything else, probably not, no. Especially since the T-54 lightweights are more fighting force than spotting force.
Yeah.
Now maybe on a T-37 it could be argued, but everything else, no. But yeah, one thing that's worth mentioning maybe are corpses, like dead tanks. They don't serve as solid cover. Yeah, so they don't block line of sight. If there's a dead tank, you're still gonna get spotted behind it. You still can take cover behind it, yeah, like it's gonna soak up the shells, but you're not invisible behind it.
But
That's a thing I had trouble with.
And that's even for the really big tanks that would
Yeah.
cover your whole tank, like a
Like,
mouse, for
Yeah,
example.
if you hide an
Yeah,
ELC behind the mouse, the ELC will get spotted.
that's
It will be really
Okay.
tough to shoot him, but
Does
you
it
Yep.
will.
count as line of sight?
Sorry?
So it's not counted as like a blocker, like for line of sight.
Exactly.
Okay.
Doesn't count like a house or anything. It's just like that tank. It will suck up the shells, but not
Okay.
block the line of sight. The thing I had a lot of trouble with because it seems a bit weird at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I think 50-meter rule is important. 15-meter rule is important, and you don't need to poke over your whole tank to spot. Any questions?
It was very, very useful this with that I can zoom in on the tank and watch everything and get like gray areas. That was very useful.
That's nice.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
use that. There's, well, it's kind of like coming back to what I was saying earlier about like spotting like this. Someone stay here? Oh no, someone like not there, but like here next to the house, like there.
Another thing that I read somewhere, probably in the manual, it's a good thing to turn around if you're spotting in a dangerous place, so you can drive away fast if you get spotted.
Yes, exactly.
That's kind of smart.
Yeah.
I think I read that in the manual.
Especially if you're doing it the first times, you will feel really weird because you're like, they're gonna shoot me. It's gonna hurt.
Shoot me in the engine or fuel tanks. But it's very, very important to get away fast. So.
Which brings me to like corners. How do you go around corners? Like say. Target acquired. Target unlocked. I don't know. Like here. Is it just like
Angle.
that? Like you go out and then you go back in?
Oh no. No.
Angle out and fast back.
Takes far too long. Like the time you're wasting there is crazy. Like you just need to poke out like your gun and then you can go back.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
Like you're making this really complicated.
Yes.
Yeah, fancy little pirouette and.
You just need to put out like a checkpoint thing.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there are no questions.
Oh, this
Come to
is what I meant like, about that thing earlier. Like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
somebody sits like this and then there's somebody like right there. Maybe if I'm like this, you can't spot me. Well, it's a bad example because it's pretty close. But like if I'm like this, you can I guess see maybe my cupola and my like the side checkpoints. But if I'm like this, you can't see my cupola.
The back
I guess.
track,
Yeah.
your left back. I think it's important to keep if you are gonna fight, keep the hard parts towards your enemy.
But I guess it's a gimmick.
Yeah, it's more a gimmick than a standard rule, I would say. Yeah, that's it. Feel free to kill me.
Oh.
Don't worry, third row to be your favorite part of the lesson.
But now we're taking away your credits.
Hey, there are no repair costs.
Oh.
It's ammo cost.
Oh, right. Oh, damn.
So, all right. Thank you very much for today's lesson.
Yep.
No,
thank
thanks
you.
for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Share the video.